I gave Bulgaria a huge TV deal. We're going to sim forward 150 years into the future and see if Bulgaria can become an absolute powerhouse of European football. Yes, that's right guys, welcome back to the channel with me, your host KJM. And something a little bit different for the channel today. It's my first ever experiment video, and in this video I've given the top two divisions in Bulgaria an absolutely massive TV deal. Obviously we're going to have a look and see how much this does affect things in Bulgaria. Can we get a European Cup winner? Can we get Bulgaria to become the absolute powerhouse of European football? Now you can see that the dominant team in Bulgaria is Ludogorets. If we have a look at Ludogorets and have a look at their finances, they've currently got £17 million in the bank. Now the TV deal does take a little bit of while to integrate itself, so we're going to come forward in stages to begin with before we make some big jumps into the future. You can also see there that the Bulgarian league is listed as the 25th most reputable league in Europe. So can they get to the top? Can they overthrow the likes of the Premier League and Serie A, La Liga? Can they get up above those divisions? As you can see, the English Premier Division is the only one with 4.5 stars. The rest of them are 4 stars and then down lower. Bulgaria currently down here on 3 stars. So can we get them to become the best league in Europe? Can Bulgaria move up from their 71st position to become a powerhouse of Europe? Can they win any European competitions? Can we get any superstars being developed at these clubs? We'll obviously have a look at some of the details. To start with, you can see there Bulgaria got a reputation of 5,250. We're going to make a note of this and we're going to check it as things go on. In terms of their youth rating as well, it tells me in here somewhere 72. They've got a youth rating of 72. So will that improve as well with the money that's coming through the clubs? Like I say, Ludogorets considered to be the best club in Europe. They've got a reputation of 6,500. So just how much will that grow over the years as well? Of course, depending on how they do in Europe, really. I'm interested to see whether we get any Champions League winners and what kind of players that we do get through the door. Obviously we'll make a note of a couple of the other ones. I'll sort of do that off camera. CSKA Sofia, we'll just have a quick look at them. 6,000 reputation, so we're around about that 6,000 mark. I have put together a little player search thing here. We've just got it filtered out to find players with current ability of 160 or greater, and we're going to see if we get any Bulgarians through in here. There's quite a few players here. 160 I think is maybe a little bit low to aim for, so we should expect to see some of them. There is a total of 82 people with a current ability of over 160 though. Just quick check to make sure there's no Bulgarians in here to start with. There's not. So we're going to go forward. First of all, we're going to go forward a year and see exactly who is where, see what exactly has happened. Let's have a quick look in the job centre at the Bulgarian First League. You can see there are some clubs in here. We're expecting Ludogorets to continue to dominate to start with the amount of money that comes in. But we'll skip forward a year in and we'll have a look at some of the clubs' finances, stuff like that, see if anything has changed. Right, we're a year in now then, and we'll start on the shortlist. I would not expect anything to have happened in here. To be entirely honest, there's still no Bulgarians in here. In terms of current ability though, we can see that Kylian Mbappe has now overtaken Lionel Messi. But we're only a year in. We weren't really expecting anything to have changed drastically. In terms of club finances, let's have a quick look. This is the second tier in Bulgaria. Spartak Pleven have been promoted. Let's just have a quick look at Itar. You can see that they've got currently £80 million in the bank, which is a lot of money for a second tier side. However, if we have a look in the First Division, let's just pick Levski for an example. 97 million. So the money is coming in to the club. Have they made any big signings? Again, we're probably not expecting too much so early on. The transfers here 1.4 million, transfers out 1.8 million. That's Levski though. Let's have a look at, obviously Ludogorets have won the title again. They are currently now at 93 million. So the money is coming in. In terms of transfers for Ludogorets, they've spent 6.25 million. Selling on £2 million worth of players, but nothing drastic yet. They've all players who have come in from various other clubs in Bulgaria, other than ASI, who I believe are a French club. They are. So not a lot has changed really. We weren't expecting it to change after 1 year. Club details, they've actually dropped off in reputation just a little bit, which is a little bit unfortunate. League-wise as well, it's gone down. How well is Sofia doing again? Around about the £100 million mark in the bank. Lots of money, which is great. It's exactly what we want to see. Transfers, nothing really happening, as you'd expect. But as the years go on, can we see these clubs start to develop some players? Right, guys, and another year into the future. Again, we're in 2024 now. We're not expecting to see any Bulgarians in here. As you'd expect, I believe Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland are still the two best players in world football. Absolute beasts of players, especially Erling Haaland. If you've watched the Premier League this season, you know exactly how good he is. Has the Bulgarian First Division risen up the rankings, though? Let's have a quick look. We'll start off at the second tier. First League has gone back up to 25th, which is fantastic. Ludogorets, again, the champions. They now got £158 million in the bank, so the money is flying in through the door. Loads of money. Transfers wise, they've already made one this season. They've spent a little bit more last season, which is great. Exactly what you'd expect to see happening. The reputation's gone back up again. Interesting to see how they get on early on in Europe. This early on, Ludogorets obviously Champions League. They didn't get past the qualifying, which is a bit disappointing. They've obviously dropped into the Europa League then. So Ludogorets, loads of money in the bank. Hopefully we'll start to see them spending some of that money. Let's just pick Levski again, just out of interest. £168 million in the bank. Barreau as well, £149 million in the bank. Obviously, player-wise, again, we're only 2 years in. We're not seeing too much, although Barreau have spent £1 million on players. Right, 3 years into the future. Again, nothing happening player-wise. Didn't expect there to be. In terms of how clubs are doing, there's different promotions, but these clubs down in the second division, just to show you, are getting the money as well. £223 million in the bank, so there is an absolute massive influx of money coming in to Bulgaria. Their league's jumped up quite considerably over the last season. Bulgaria's up to the first division is up to 23rd, so it's had a little bit of a rise there. Again, up 2 places over last season, which is great. Again, Ludogorets champions, unfortunately, nothing new there, but £229 million in the bank. Are they spending any money yet? 19 million spent that season, just under 20 million, which is great. It's exactly what we want to see happening. Biggest one is Filip Krastev from Lomel SK, 8.25, rising to 10.25 million. He's a fairly tidy player, isn't he? He's a really, really good player. He's coming from Lomel SK, who are a Belgian team. He's unbelievable. He's really, really good. Haris Belkelber, another one coming from Brest, is another very good midfielder. Coming for decent money again, but they are starting to spend the money, which is good. In terms of Ludogorets' reputation, again, it's rising. Exactly what we wanted. I wonder if any of these teams are thinking about new stadiums or anything like that yet. We're probably not. We're probably too early on. Just out of interest, the biggest capacity stadium in Bulgaria is September Sovri's, 43,000 capacity. So maybe over time we'll see some of these guys update their stadiums. In terms of facilities as well, we're looking forward to seeing the clubs improve their facilities. Exceptional youth recruitment here at Ludogorets, which is fantastic. We do expect some of the other clubs in the division to start upgrading facilities as well. For example, CSK Sofia, this is all the sort of stuff that we need for Bulgaria to start improving youth ratings and stuff like that. Get some great new gens coming through into Bulgaria. Again, they've all got really good facilities. In terms of Bulgaria, they've actually dropped down the rankings, unfortunately, down to 84th. Let's just have a quick look and see if the youth rating has changed. It's roughly about where it was at 72. So we'll go another year in. And another year in then, guys. 4 years into the future now. Still no Bulgarians appearing in the best players in the world. We've upped that current ability to 165. Kevin De Bruyne now listed. No, he's not. I've got it on by nation. Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, still at the top of their games. Musiala, another fantastic player. Frankie de Jong, Joshua Kimmich, Jude Bellingham as well. Still up there of Real Madrid now, Jude Bellingham. Kylian Mbappe still at PSG. Musiala at Man City. Bukayo Saka now of PSG, which is good. We're seeing all the usual sort of Football Manager transfers, where all the big players go to the likes of PSG and Real Madrid. In terms of Bulgaria, though, Levski are currently looking for a manager. They've actually won the title. Levski have knocked Ludogorets off. They're not looking for a manager, are they? They're looking for a coach. So Levski have knocked Ludogorets off the top of the table with picking up a championship with £272 million in the bank. Did they spend big last season? £28 million on players for Levski. The most expensive one being Oscar Estepinian from Hull City. Estepinian, a decent player, Ecuadorian. Yeah, £8 million for Estepinian. So they're starting to spend the money. Levski have basically bought themselves a title. Marius Marin, central midfielder, he's okay. He's not much better than what we saw at Ludogorets, really, is he? Oliver Kremen, again, decent player. Spending some money now, though, £28 million. It is spread out over quite a few players, though. In terms of Ludogorets, did they spend big again? More than likely did. They're now £232 million in the bank, which would suggest they are. They spent £48 million, bringing in Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham for £20.5 million as a central defender. He's an absolute fantastic player for Ludogorets. Neil Lopez from Club Brugge, £11.25 million. Not quite as good as Tosin is up there, but again, big money spent. And has that helped Ludogorets move up the European rankings? Their reputation has dropped again below the 6,500. A little bit of a surprise, to be honest. In terms of UEFA Champions League, they actually made it to the Champions League phase a couple of seasons ago, which is great. Let's have a quick look back and see if we can see back to last season and see if we can see that league phase. Ludogorets, was it this season or was it last season? It was the season before, wasn't it? Ludogorets finished down in 29th place, picking up one win, but they've actually qualified for a European competition, which is really good. In terms of past winners so far, Bayern, Real Madrid with 2 in a row, Man City finally winning the Champions League. Europa League, 4 years in, no finalists in the Europa League. And for the Conference League, again, no finalists there, which is to be expected. Weren't expecting too much just yet. If we go back to Bulgaria, have they started to rise back up the rankings now? The league's up to 22nd, which is good. It's going in the right direction. Bulgaria sort of back up to 79th. The best player in Bulgaria is considered to be that Filip Krastev, who we had a look at last season. And again, 5 years in, still no Bulgarians appearing in here. Like I say, we're not going to expect too many this early on. In terms of the league table here in Bulgaria, Bulgarian First League, Ludogorets have returned to the top of the table. Big jump, though. Big jump from 22nd up to 15th, which is a huge jump in terms of the league. Reputation-wide, the Premier League still leading the way. But the Bulgarian First Division jumping up to 15th from 22nd. Still only 3 stars, but it's a good jump in the right direction. It's exactly what we want to see. But Ludogorets, again, winning the league from Levski. Pretty dominant, really. 13 points there. Perot finishing down near the bottom. Arda relegated. But these teams who are getting relegated, they're going down with £387 million worth of finances. And again, the clubs who are down in this division, the likes of, let's just pick Montana. Montana, £90 million in the bank. I think the TV deal, the clubs in the lower divisions are not quite getting as much money as the teams in the top division. Let's have a look at Dunav. Dunav have got £389 million in the bank. So there's big money being spent here in Bulgaria. In terms of Ludogorets, have they improved again their rating slightly? Still not exactly great though, is it? After having lost the title that season. Transfer history-wise, again, they've gone big, £60 million this time. The most expensive one being Ferran Jutgla from Club Brugge, £21 million. A very, very handy striker there, Spanish striker. Marco Saraci coming in from Levante, I believe it said. Yes, Levante, £10 million. So they're spending loads of money. Are Ludogorets? Are they improving in Europe, though? Have they qualified for another Champions League? No, they got knocked out of that one. Europa League, they made it through the group stage. They lost to RB Salzburg in the knockout round, which is a good performance. Conference League, they've been in that a couple of times over the course of the save. Right, so 6 years into the future now, 2028, still no Bulgarians appearing in here, which, again, what we expected in terms of the Bulgarian First League. Ludogorets, again, the champions. The league's now up to 11th. It's had another big jump from 15th to 11th, which is is that an improvement in reputation? Yes, it's up to 3.5 stars now. So the Bulgarian First Division is starting to pick up. Ludogorets, again, are they spending big money? Another £81 million spent this season, so they are starting to spend more and more each season. Bringing in Siku Niakite from Braga, I believe that is, BRG. Is it Braga? In Portugal, I think it is. I haven't got any real name fixes on or anything like that. But another good player there. £81 million spent by Ludogorets. Have they improved their reputation back up? Yeah, it's took a big jump this season, up around about 100 points. So they must have had a decent sort of European competition. They got to the knockout playoff round of the Champions League, so they've made it through the group stage. They were beaten by PSG. Do we have any winners in Europe yet? Let's have a look, shall we? Nothing in the Champions League. Real Madrid, Man City, Real Madrid. Europa League, nothing there. Still no finalists in the Europa League. As for the Conference League, again, still no finalists. Roma picking up the most recent one. Newcastle making to a Conference League final. So nothing too surprising yet, to be honest, other than the fact that the Bulgarian League has had quite a big jump in terms of its reputation. It's gone shot up the last couple of seasons. Big money being spent by the top teams. These are slowly improving as well. CSKA Sofia, another one, £38 million. They're bringing in the likes of Christian Caponi from Sochi. He's not great. Not great. He's not 11.75, not £15 million worth of player, is he? And here we are, 10 years into the future. Still no Bulgarians appearing in the top players in the world. Best player in the world is now Erling Haaland. Kylian Mbappe's dropping off now. He's getting a bit older, but Erling Haaland still having 220 goals in 295 appearances for Man City. He's a cheat code in this game. He's not dropping off at all at the age of 31. In terms of Bulgaria, though, let's have a quick look at the Bulgarian First League. It's now up to 9th. It has been as high as 8th. So we've seen some big... This is where we were last time. It had another big jump up to 9th, then dropped again, then jumped back up to 8th. And now 9th again. In terms of competition reviews, we're still at that 3.5 stars. Premier Division is still the only one up there. Levski have won another title, so Ludogorets aren't having it all their own way. In terms of Ludogorets, let's have a look at transfers. Club reputation has improved over the last 4 years. Yes, it has. It's jumped up to 6,775. Money-wise, let's see what they're spending. £132 million last season. £32 million for Milan Manhoef from the Netherlands. He's okay. He's okay. He needs to decide where he wants to play on the pitch. He's not too bad, though, is he? El Bilal Toure, a striker coming from Liverpool. Now, he's great. He's really, really good. But he's £32 million worth of player. So they're spending the money. They've also sold £47 million worth of players. In terms of Levski, let's have a look at them. Are they spending big money? These are look at them. They are, without a doubt, the best facilities in Bulgaria. There's no question of that. £565 million in the bank. Are they spending big money? They've spent £40 million last season, 43 the year before, 59 before that. Their top signing this season is Diaz from Atletico Madrid in New Gen. Looks reasonable. I wouldn't say he was £11 million worth of player, but he looks okay. Another Estepinian, this one from Brighton, cost him a total of... Oh, he was free. It was free, so that's a good bit of business there, isn't it? For Levski. So, Levski, what's their reputation like? 6-3. So, Ludogorets still probably the best club in Bulgaria in terms of how the Champions League and European competitions have gone. Let's have a quick look. Champions League, they've knocked out of the playoff round again by Atletico Madrid, then didn't make it past the league phase, knocked out of the qualifying, so didn't even get past qualifying in the most recent season. But in terms of past winners, Barcelona have now moved into there to spoil the Man City Real Madrid little party that they had going on. but still no finalists from Bulgaria. Oh, we've had a runner-up in the Europa League. CSK Sofia have had a runners-up spot in the Europa League. They've got some great facilities as well, haven't they? This is their best player. He's really, really good, which is great. They must be spending big money as well. 33 million, 36, 19. So nowhere near what Ludogorets are spending, but they have picked up the first Bulgarian runners-up spot in Europe, unless something else happened in the Conference League, which it didn't. So CSK Sofia, congratulations. You get a medal, the first European finalist. And here we are, guys, 25 years into the future. Still no Bulgarians appearing in the top players. Let's have a look and see what's been happening in the First League. Wow, there's no Ludogorets. Ludogorets haven't won one for 11 years now. Of course, we were here last time here. Wow, so they won a few more and then they've dropped off, and now it's the two CSKA clubs, 1948 and Sofia, really starting to pick up. Levski have added another one as well. So Ludogorets, we're up to 6th. Bulgaria's up to 6th in the competition rankings, now up to 4 stars. Only the Premiership with 5.5 stars still. So the TV money, guys, is working wonders for Bulgaria, and in particular certain clubs. CSK 1948, they've got £1 billion in the bank. 1 billion in the bank. Oh wow, a wage budget of £6 million per week. They've got £4 million wage budget to spend. Josip Maria, considered to be the best player at CSKA. They brought him in from SH Port. No, Barcelona. They've brought him in from Barcelona, a Spaniard, on £65,000 a week. We're starting to see some hot prospect Bulgarians appearing now, though. He's not the greatest, is he? Let's have a look and see what kind of ability he's got. Potential ability of 128, so he's not going to be the greatest player in the world, is he? But the Bulgarian leads up to 6th, and CSK Sofia and CSK 1948 are starting to trade. They've got £1 billion in the bank as well. This guy's their best player. Decent. How's their hot prospect? This 15-year-old. What's his predicted ability? 106. So he's nothing special, is he? Nothing special at all. Which you'd expect with this is going to be, these would be coming through great. But that's obviously going to be down to the youth rating of the nation, which is now up to 80. So it is growing. It's growing. Bulgaria up to 49th in the table. In terms of how Europe's gone, let's have a quick look at that. We'll start with CSK Sofia, Champions League. Any more finalists in Champions League football or European football, I beg your pardon? No, we've had Barcelona and Real Madrid for a number of years. PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City, Liverpool jumping in there. Juventus as well. Still no finalists, so from Bulgaria. In terms of Europa League, any winners? Of course, we had CSK, the runners-up here. We've got Ludogorets, runners-up 2 years ago. 1948 there as well. Still no winners of the Europa League, though. How about the Conference League? Any winners? Oh, yes, we've had 2 in a row. 2 in a row. We've had CSK 1948, and then we've had Slavia Sofia, who've won one as well, which is great to see. And another club with £1 billion in the bank. We've had a few runners-up as well. Ludogorets there. CSK 1948 as well. But 2 winners now in European competitions. 50 years into the future, 2072. And we've got a Bulgarian in the top players in the world. Current ability of 165, potential ability of 165. So he's peaked. He's at PSG. It is Yavor Georgiev. And he's a very, very good player. 85 caps and 19 goals for Bulgaria. Came through the youth academy at Yantra Gabrovo, who've got loads of money in the bank. They've got good facilities as well. They're currently in the First League. They've come up. They've been a very much a yo-yo team over this course of the time that they've had there. But we've got a player in the top players in the world finally, which is great. Has that helped Bulgaria out in any way, shape or form? They've been up to as high as 23rd, 37th overall. They've had a big drop off. We'll go back and have a look at World Cups and stuff like that at the end of the save, guys. But how's Bulgarian First League gone over the last 25 years? Ludogorets have not returned to title winning ways. The last one was in 2037. And it's been dominance by the CSKA clubs, 1948 and Sofia, trading titles continuously. Levski and September Sofia have picked up one as well. Again, they've got some great facilities, some good players. This Uruguayan here is a good player. Yanev, young Bulgarian at 19 years old. Is he going to ever make it? 178 potential ability. So yes, so we've got some good Bulgarian players starting to come through. Still $1 billion in the bank. $1 billion in the bank. Are any of these guys actually spending big money? Let's have a look. 64, 93, 188 million. One season there. 43 million on one player. 73, 77, 124. Wow, so they are spending some money, guys. How has Europe gone over the last 25 years? Let's have a look. Champions League. So, still no Bulgarian clubs making it to the final of a Champions League. What about the Europa League? Have we got anybody in here? No winners. Finalists there. Lost to Tottenham in the finals. I think that's it, isn't it? No, we've got another finalist there to Villarreal. I think we might have looked at that one already. Not gone great in Europe then, is it? Levski are the current champions of the Conference League, though. Spartak Pleven have also picked up one. I think Pleven is a Bulgarian team. It is indeed Levski. So we're very much a Europa Conference League nation. Ludogorets have won one. We've had finalists, Ludogorets, Plodiv, Pleven again. Right, so Europa Conference League seems to be where we're at. Has the reputation of the Bulgarian First League improved any more? It's sixth. It's pretty much a solid sixth position now. Behind the big five, it's up to 4 stars. We've got more nations up to 4.5 stars. Can Bulgaria break into that though? June 21-22. We are 100 years into the future. We have another player considered the best players in the world. 179 potential ability in Spazov. He's a very, very good player, currently of Barcelona. Came through at Botev Vrasta. He's been around Bulgaria a little bit in his time. Went to Spain for £18.5 million. Imagine if you could pick that player up for £18.5 million. That would be great, wouldn't it? Bulgaria, though, we'll start there. They've been up as high as 12th in the world, and then they've dropped off again. But they've moved up. Bulgarian First League's reputation, by the way, is up to 4.5 stars. Have they moved up? No, they're still in 6th place behind the big 5. But we're now considered one of the big 6. We're the big 6 now, guys. Not just the big 5 anymore. Did Ludogorets ever win another title? Yes, they came back and won 3, but they were spread out. Oh, we had a little bit of domination here from September. Sofia, they've become a dominant team. Atar winning 1. It's gone back to Levski, the CSKA clubs. Levski had a little spell there. Slavia Sofia, September Sofia, and then Itar had another little spell, and they're currently the defending champions on a 4-season winning streak with £71 million in the bank. They must have been spending some money. They have got a new stadium though, I've noticed. They have got a new stadium. But yeah, let's have a look. Juan Carlos, pretty decent. How's their youth academy? Timonov, 15-year-old. Is he going to ever make it as a player? No. 110. Just out of interest, what are Ludogorets at reputation-wise? 7-4. So they have improved massively. They've got a new stadium as well. 67,000 seater capacity. They've only got £128 million left in the bank. They are spending massive amounts of money though. Still not quite what you'd see from the Premier League though, really, is it? When you consider the amount of money that gets thrown around there. CSKA Sofia still £409 million in the bank. They've dropped off lately though, but they have now got 54 Bulgarian First League titles. A Conference League, still no Champions Leagues in there for CSKA Sofia. Have Itar ever won a Champions League? No, they've won a Europa League and a Super Cup though. So Europa League and Super Cup. September Sofia, 2 Conference Leagues. Are we ever going to get a Champions League winner, Ludogorets? No, they've won a Conference League. That's disappointing, isn't it? Disappointing. What about Levski? Europa League, 4 Conference Leagues for Levski. They look like they've got a new stadium as well. Yep, 83,000 for Levski. So we can see where the money's been spent. The facilities and stadiums, reputations up to continental. How's Levski's? 7-7. So we're getting some pretty big clubs here in Bulgaria. What about Bulgaria themselves though? Has their youth rating changed up to 95 out of 200? So it's in 100 years, with the amount of money that we've got coming through Bulgaria, it hasn't grown as much as I'd have thought. June 21-72. Is there any Bulgarians in the top? There is. There's 2. There's another Spazov, 169, and then a Kalekinov, 175 of Barcelona. Wow, what a player. What a player he is. And Barcelona, I bet they didn't pay much for him, 35 million. Came through at September Sofia, moved on to South Korea for 1.7 million. He's fantastic, isn't he? He's really good. Has that propelled Bulgaria up the rankings? Yes. Yes, it has. Second in the world, Bulgaria. Wow, they must have won some trophies. They must have won some trophies. What is the youth rating up to now? 104, which is really good. They're still considered a developing state. Wow, that's a big jump. What about the first league? Oh, it's dropped down. Dropped down to 8th. Turkey has jumped up there. I think Portugal's the other one, or the Eredivisie has jumped up there. Bulgaria's dropped down to 8th, but look how many nations now we've got with 4.5 stars. 28. Remember, we started with just the one, which was the Premier Division, which is still at the top, by the way. But yeah, that's a shock that we've dropped down. How are we looking for... Wow, Cherno Moore had a huge period of domination, didn't they? They had a huge period of domination. Where were we last time? Here, where ATAR were winning. Ludogorets picked up another one. Cherno Moore, where have they come from? They've had a streak between 32 and 58, so 26 years where they've only lost the title twice. And then they've lost it a couple of times and they've come back and won 3 more, 4 more. And Chevdar Etropol are a new one to me. £609 million in the bank. I've never heard of this club before. Bulgarian listed as the key player. He looks fairly handy, doesn't he? What was his potential ability? 161. What about the youth players? He's a Uruguayan. Has he come through the academy here, though? No, he hasn't. So that doesn't really count. Again, facilities are absolutely fantastic. Ludogorets picking up one in 2067, which is great. Cherno Moore, how many Champions Leagues? Wow, yes, we've done it. Champions Leagues. 33 first division. One in 1938, then they didn't win one again until 21-15, and then 15 years later they've gone on a mad streak. So they've won 32 titles in the time I've simmed through this save, which is a great. This is their hot prospect. What's he like in terms of ability? 150. Still not great, is it? Still not great. I bet their reputation is unreal, though. 8,773. What is Ludogorets, though? Because they were the benchmark to start with here in Portugal. 8,400, which is really, really good. They've got money in the bank again. Reputation worldwide, which is fantastic. They've won a Conference League. Let's go through the Champions League and see how many other winners we've actually had. Let's have a look. Sparta Prague winning one. Cherno Moore with that one there in 2150, 2145 as well. I don't think we're going to see any other Bulgarian teams winning one, though. No, we're not. Any runners-up in this part here? No, I think just Cherno Moore. So Cherno Moore have become the European powerhouse of Bulgaria. What about Europa Leagues? We must have won loads of them. Malmo winning the most recent one. Chavdar there, they've won one in 62. Romanian clubs winning the Europa League. Not too many, really, is there? I'd expected to see more than that. ATAR in 2117. What about the Conference League? We must have won this loads. Absolute loads. Sofia down there. I'm not seeing loads of them, am I? Spartak Pleven. No, Breidablik runners up. To Valor. So an Icelandic final there in the Conference League. That's a shock. I'm glad that we've actually won some Champions Leagues, though. That's good. Right, Bulgaria. World Cup for Bulgaria. Yes, we did. I saw one there. They won it 4 years ago in 2166. And it's taken 150 years for Bulgaria actually they made a final in 2134. It took them over 100 years to get to a final of the World Cup with the amount of money that we've been pumping in to the club. But they have won one, which is fantastic. Have they won anything else? They won the Euros in 2164 as well. So they had a good 2 years there, didn't they? World Cup and then Euro and then World Cup winners. But again, nothing before that. So it's taken billions and billions and billions of pounds of TV money for Bulgaria and 100 and odd years for them to win anything, which is, not great. Major transfers is this guy from Napoli to Dobruca. it's still not great. Still not great. I'd expected to see some absolutely awesome players here in Bulgaria. Ludogorets spending big bucks, 215 million, 61 million on Chala from Napoli as well. What about Chernomore? Obviously the hugely dominant team, 174, 225, 199. So Chernomore have absolutely splashed the cash in their period of domination. £66 million I've just seen on there on a player from Arsenal who's now retired. Whoa, hang on. 165 million on Badioli from Juventus. Really? 165 million? What? I know he's like old now, so this is gone. There's no way he was ever 165 million pounds. I think they've just they've just gone mental, haven't they, with the money? Oh, guys, that's the end though. Huge TV deal for Bulgaria, and it's took them 150 years to do anything. If you have liked this, because there's been a lot of work gone to this, it's took me 2 days and 13 hours worth of playing to do this. It's time to change my underwear, apparently. If you do like this, though, and it's something different for me, then please leave a like. If you're new around here, subscribe as well. If you want to see more stuff like this in future episodes, more experiments, then leave me something in the comments to let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Guys, it's been great. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you all later. Cheers, guys.